Let us be done with this.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
And we're back.
And let us be done with this.
Yes. Oh my God. So we're back with part 2 of the Twilight Saga. Twilight Saga? Hey, whatever. Sega? The Twilight Saga Genesis?
Twilight Sonic?
New
Twilight
Moon? Saga? New Moon?
Knuckles Moon? Yeah.
Blue Moon? Newest of moons?
Blue Moon.
Where'd we leave off?
I don't know. No, we last left off, Jacob was leaving in a little hissy fit. Right?
His long hair, he flipped his hair and he's like, I don't feel good. I gotta go.
I don't feel good. Yeah, from the theater. And
I don't feel gooders. I gotta go.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
Yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, and then
I feel like there's a werewolf inside of me. All right,
so back at home, back at the ranch, Bella's mansion here. She keeps calling Jacob, leaving messages. She's apologizing.
Gonna keep calling me.
Always keep calling me. She just wants to hear his voice, you know?
And then Dad's going on a fishing trip. Gives a shit.
Yep. And Harry's like, no, we have to go fishing. Because she's like, well, you don't have to go. And he's like, no, we're going.
We have to go.
And then everyone's worried about the bears. So Harry gets his line, don't worry, those bears won't get the drop on me, Bella. My kung fu is strong, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe he's good at kung fu.
Don't think he knows kung fu.
All right, so then we're so after all this phone calling, Bella decides just to drive over to Jacob's house. So she drives over.
Yeah,
happens to pull up just
probably a couple weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, or at least a week.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A lot of phone calls, she pulls up to his house, and there he is. Just happens to be raining out, and happens to him be walking with his shirt off towards the woods, of course. And he's got a haircut. Thank God.
I think he's extra ripped now. Yep. Yeah. Got a haircut, extra ripped, has a tattoo.
A lot of changes. Yeah, a lot of updates here. We got Jacob 2.0 right now. Mm-hmm. And the first thing she says when she walks up to him, you got a haircut and a tattoo?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, whatever. You wouldn't get it.
You don't understand. You're just, human girl.
Did Sam get to you? Is that what's happening here? And he's like, no, Sam's trying to help me. Don't blame him. If you got somebody to blame, how about those filthy bloodsuckers you love, the Cullens? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oops. He's like, yeah, you do. You've been lying to everyone. We can't be friends anymore.
Calls her out, boom. And then they're like she's trying to do a thing, and he's like, no, it's not you, it's me. And which in a funny way, she calls out, she's like, oh, it's not you, it's me thing. Like they're making fun of it, but then
I know I'm hurting you. It's killing me to hurt you. I used to be a good kid, but not anymore.
I'm
like, nothing matters.
I'm 16 and a half.
Nothing matters. And she goes, you can't break up with me.
Whoopsies.
I mean, you're my best friend.
Whoopsies. Didn't mean to let that slip.
You promised me.
So at this point now, she's got 2 different dudes have told her to just go away and leave them alone. So
yep.
Is she the problem?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he runs off in the rain, right? Yeah. He's like, don't come back here. You're going to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm going to go play with my friends in the woods with our shirts off.
Just trying to do wood stuff with my friends.
Yeah, we're going to build tree houses, whatever. Do whatever you want to do out there. It's fine. You do whatever you want out there. It's fun.
So then she's writing another voiceover email to Alice, complaining about how she misses Jake and she can't see Edward anymore, and that she's got to find some place to see him again.
She's hiking through the woods while this is going, this voiceover during what, right?
Right. She's going to the field of flowers there, right?
Oh, is that what it's called? She's just like, I need to find a place where I can see him again, which is this.
Oh, that's what I called it. Just because it is a field of flowers.
No, that sounds like something that would have been right from the book. The field of flowers.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Seems good.
And so she's laying in a field of flowers with Edward. There's like cuts of that in between her trying to find this field, but she gets there and it's barren now.
Aww.
And then she sees Laurent,
who just randomly shows up. I don't know who this guy is. He's from the first movie.
He's
but
one of Victoria's friends from the last one.
I mean, I pieced that together. It was pretty easy. But at first sighting, I was like, oh, who's this guy? I remember from the trailer. And it was like, oh, then he immediately explained, like, your boy killed Victoria's mate. So that means it's time for his mate to die. And he's not around to protect you, basically. I was like, all right, cool. All right.
Exactly.
He's talking shit about the Collins, talking about shit about her and how she's basically a pet, blah, blah, blah.
But he did help also kind of spare her in the first one. So like, he's not all bad.
Ugh, this movie, like,
it's stupid. Yeah, the movie's stupid.
People's motivations are jumping all over the place. Like, pick something. What are you doing? What do you believe in? Go stick with it.
I mean, she calls him out on that. She's like, but you saved me before. And he's like, well, times are different now. Now I'm going to kill you.
Things have changed, lady.
He's like, do the Cullens visit often? And Edward the ghost appears and says, lie. And she goes, yeah, definitely. And he goes, lie better. And then
no, like, lie even better.
Yeah, I see him like all the time, every other day, the other day. And then
not buying it.
Laurent says, you know, he came as a favor to Victoria. She wanted to know if Edward was still protecting her. Edward the ghost says to threaten him. Like, Edward the ghost is giving a lot of questionable advice right now, right?
Yeah, Eddie the ghost is not. I don't know if he's doing a good job here, but
no, he's like not there to protect her. And Laurent's like, well, I'm going to kill you. At least it's going to be quick. Victoria wanted to kill you slowly and painfully.
But I'm going to do this fast and you're not going to feel it. That's nice. Thanks, bud.
So her last words are going to be, Edward, I love you. And then some branches break in the woods.
What do we got?
A werewolf. And a werewolf walks out and Laurent's like, I don't believe it.
Well, yeah. Doesn't the thing... Yeah, that's right. And then a whole pack, they all show up, right? And then he turns and then he just runs.
He runs away.
The wolves go chasing. And
one of the vampires makes eye contact with Bella, right? Mm-hmm. Which
one of the werewolves.
Looks like it's probably
one of the werewolves, you mean?
Jacob. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It's Jacob's for sure. Yeah. I said werewolves.
I think you said vampires.
No. And then the werewolves chase.
I'll check the tape on that one.
Laurent. Yeah, check the tape. And then they have a big fight, right? They have a little fight that we don't really see much of, and then
slow-mo action, they're going at it, classic.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts through, like, as they're in the middle of like picking this fight up, it just cuts and they're like, now we're back at Bella's house and she's at home with Dad in the kitchen, back at the ranch, and she's like, Dad, I figured it out. It's werewolves that are killing the hikers and people in the woods.
It's not bears.
It's not bears, it's werewolves. And then there's flashes of Victoria again, and then flashes of Laurent fighting the wolves. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck's happening right now. But this is literally the middle of the movie.
Wolves, huh? He's like, well, guess we should go hunting. And Harry's like, oh, yeah, hunting for wolves. And then she's like, Dad, you should go, because Bella's now worried that Victoria's going to come and like kill her whole family. And he's like, no, also, you should stay safe. And then end another scene. They're like, okay, and she's taking a nap.
Yep, she's up there napping.
Yeah. Like, you know what I could go for? A little rest.
Well, I think it's nighttime now, so she's actually in bed to go to bed. But then we get Jacob showing up, doing the old rocks in the window, wake up move, right? And she's like,
baby, come back.
What are you doing here? And he says, oh, 1 sec, I'm coming up, and does some sweet parkour moves off the house, off the tree, nothing but window, shirtless, of course. Like,
oh yeah, always.
Why wasn't she just kind of like, what the fudge? How did you do that?
She was kind of.
Yeah, but not enough.
Yeah, she was like, what? Okay.
Sick moves. I'd be like,
and then she like touches his abs and she's like, oh, I forgot what I was thinking about earlier.
I got distracted by your abs. We all do. It's not really a 6-pack. It's like an 18-pack. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yo, he's got so many muscles.
But then he shows up and he's just kind of like, they look at each other awkwardly. And he's just kind of like, Hey,
I'm sorry. I can't explain what's happening to me. I don't know what's going on. Have you ever had a secret you couldn't tell anyone? One that wasn't yours to share? That's what it's like for me, but worse. You have no idea how tightly I'm bound. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, don't forget, like, vampires. That was a secret that I kept from you and everyone else earlier. Remember?
Yeah. I was like, who the fuck wrote this shit? And then it was like, the killer part is, you already know. I was like, what? What is going on? What is this dialogue is so disjointed and stupid.
Yeah. She's like, I hate what they've done to you.
Oh my God.
And he's like,
I hate what this movie's done to me.
The killer parts you already know. And if you remembered when we walked on the beach that one time, remember?
The killer part is you already know.
Killer part. And she's like, yeah, something about the cold ones. And he's like, I get why that's the only part you remember, because the cold ones from part one. In part one, they had to walk on a beach, and he told her a story about werewolves and the cold ones. The wolves and the cold ones.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
And the cold ones are clearly the vampires, right? Because they're dead.
Cold-blooded. Yeah, I got that. So then and he's just walking around. It's very soap opera-y kind of feeling here. I wish I could run away. I would run away with you.
Yeah, if I could, I would. I'd do it for you.
I'd do anything, but I wouldn't do that.
It's not something I could run away from. It's the rest of my life.
I can't. Do you ever have a secret you can't tell anyone? It's like that, but worse.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
People will wonder where I am.
Because hold on, I gotta give you a hug because I'm fucking shirtless.
Yeah, let me give you a sweaty hug.
And he mumbles something about remembering, and then jumps out the window like it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's like, try to remember. Try to remember.
Are you trying to hide the fact that you're some type of superhuman werewolf thing?
Yeah.
Or no?
She like looks at him as he goes. She's like, "What the fuck? Like, what are you doing?"
Like, wait, what?
Jumps out the window.
Like, no one's really hiding their powers here, which is kind of like,
nope.
Okie dokie. And now I get the Voltaire being like, yeah, our most important thing is being secrecy here. And it's like, well, you guys are in high school and you're jumping over railings and you have goofy fucking eyes and you all look pale. Yeah, I can understand why this guy wants them all dead, because you're fucking up our...
There's a danger. Yeah.
I think I'm
Team Italian.
Yeah, I'm Team Italian as well. Here.
Let's go.
You're fucking up a secrets.
Oh, boy. I'm going to rip off of your head.
Sucking the blood.
Sorry, Italian listeners.
No, sorry, vampire listeners.
Whoever's left. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry to our vampire listeners out there. Didn't mean to make a mockery of you and associate you with Italians.
But please email us. You don't turn sparkly into sunlight, right?
Yeah, tell us. You die?
Do you die, or do you turn into sparkly something? Sparkle motions. Okay, so that's done. And then we get a dream vision of Edward, and then wolves and her in the forest, more memories.
I'm scared.
Whatever. Gives a shit.
And then she remembers the story. That's the whole point of this, is she remembers the stories. And then at the end of that, we get, oh yeah, the Quillettes were descended from wolves, because Jacob Black's family is the Quillettes or whatever.
Quilts. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy. They're descended from wolves. And she's like,
mind blown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she goes to Jacob's house. He's sleeping because being a werewolf takes a lot out of you.
By the way, with a shirt on.
For a change, yeah. Thank God.
So he sleeps with the shirt on, but does everything else with it off. Okay, that'd be a sign. That's a red flag.
He is wearing a shirt in at least 5 or 6 scenes in this movie.
This just happens to
half
be one
of them.
He's
He's sleeping. Yeah,
and all the things, all the activities that you would do without a shirt on would be sleeping, but guess not.
Nope.
So then,
she confronts the werewolf gang. Harry, it's not Harry, it's his grandpa or whoever answers the door, and he's like, "Hey, no, he's asleep. You can't hang out with him." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So she goes outside because she sees Sam and the rest of the crew, and she's like, "Hey, not cool, you guys."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What of it?" Like, yeah, this is what he was born to do. This is him. This is Jacob now.
What's it?
You don't like it? Yeah. And one of them's getting real pissed and then
real mouthy. One in the middle, he's like, what?
And then so she's running away and she's running towards Jacob, who's now awake and running outside, and he's running towards her. And then he also turns into a werewolf and then attacks the other werewolf.
Yeah.
And Bella just watches from the ground.
He does like a jump over her and kind of like a Transformer Autobot move. He like goes from robot to car
in disguise.
He goes from human to werewolf in disguise, human to werewolf, and then they mangle and they fight and get some fur in their mouths. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of. And then we get the great line. Gets the wolves out of the bag. Oh my God.
Disgusting. As the boys wrestle off into the woods. Okay.
Can't even say that line reasonably good.
Nope. So then we get another voiceover email to Alice.
Truck ride.
Is it possible the fairy tales are all real? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just driving back and forth.
Yeah. Are vampires real? Are werewolves real? Is everything real?
Fairy tales?
An alien?
Horror stories?
is love real?
Yep.
And then she pulls up to someplace.
Well, yeah, they pull up to, well, because one of the big werewolf, the dad or the whatever, the adult werewolf guy is like, hey, you two take
Sam.
her home. Is that
Yeah,
Sam?
he's like, take her to Sam's place.
Sam's place or whatever. And then, so they're walking in and these two guys who are terrible actors are like kind of creepy. They're like, hey, come on in. We won't bite. And then one's like, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
I might. You sexy. You sexy thing.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Yeah. And then I love when they go, oh, hey, about Sam's fiance, don't stare at Emily.
What if you do?
Sam hates it when people stare.
Yeah, don't stare. Oh, well, now
she's
I'm
like,
stare.
wait, why would I stare?
Well, now I'm going to stare.
Yeah. And so they walk in and Emily's face is mangled.
Yeah. Yikes.
And Bella's asked like, oh, are you the wolf girl? And she's like, well, I'm engaged to one, because like none of the women in this movie except for Bella have any kind of agency or power over their no, I'm just I'm a side bit to the Bella Jacob Edward show.
Yes. Yeah, because that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Well, then we get a little explanation from the Wolf boys here.
Yep.
They're like, oh yeah, it's a wolf thing. Alpha's rules get obeyed whether we want to or not. So whatever Sam says goes. And check this out. We can hear each other's thoughts. And the guy's like, hey man, too much information.
She runs with vampires.
God, I hate this exposition so much.
And then she's like, actually can't run with them because they're fast.
Yeah. They're really, in case you guys didn't know, they're really fast. It's my Kristen Stewart. It's my updated Kristen Stewart impression.
Oh my God.
In case you guys don't know, they're really fast.
So then,
and they're like, yeah, well, we're faster. You're not the first monsters I've met. Like this scene's weird. Like you can see it. I think you can see the weight come off of Kristen Stewart of just like, yeah, you know what? This is my life now. I'm going to be surrounded by monsters.
That's what I got. And then the rest of the other Jacob and the other kid, Sam, arrive, and the adult, whatever. I don't know what all their names are, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So they all come back, and then literally the guy who turned into a werewolf and almost like tore her apart just walks in and is just like, sorry. Like it's like no big deal. Like,
my bad.
What?
And then Jacob's like, follow me.
When we're at the beach.
So she asks him, so you're a werewolf? And he goes, last I checked.
It's like,
what? This is so stupid. And then the explanation is stupid too. He's like, well, there's a few members from my tribe that have the gene. And you're like, wait, it seems like all of your friends are also werewolves. And he goes, yeah, and when bloodsuckers are around, the fever sets in. You're like, wait. So vampires are the only thing that trigger the... Have you always been a werewolf, or is it only because of vampires? Or
like what?
Bella thinks it's mono still. She makes a joke about it being mono.
And then there's a good little commentary about like, no, I was born this way. And he's like, you're a hypocrite, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not a lifestyle choice. They say explicitly, because she's like, why don't you stop this? Because it's wrong to be a werewolf. And he's like, it's not a lifestyle choice. I was born this way. You're such a hypocrite. I'm not the right kind of monster for you. She goes, it's not who you are. It's what you do. They never hurt anybody. You've killed people, Jake. And he goes, it wasn't the werewolves. It wasn't us. They're the people who are hurting people. The only thing that we kill is vampires.
So like, I feel like that whole thing was set up because like her thinking that like that they're killing humans, like people.
Yeah.
Like the way this dialogue was set up was just so they can get into the lifestyle trait. Like, it's like, man, this is so heavy handed. It's like, wow, you could be better with this. Be fucking better with this.
Do better. Yes.
Do better.
It's bad.
But I guess you have to spell it out. I don't know. Your audience. I guess maybe. I don't know. I think high school kids are smarter than this.
Yes.
But I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. If you're a high school kid and you're listening to this podcast, weird, but also thank you. And send us an email. Yes. Yeah. Is this relatable for you? Do you like us? Tell us why you like us. I want you to like us.
Okay. So blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
Basically, so then this is when Jacob starts talking about the treaty. He's like, oh yeah, of course, because of the treaty.
This fucking movie with like
we can't hurt the Collins.
This random like treaty and laws and rules that kind of just pop up like just so or just like.
Yeah, Stephanie Meyer was like, well, they live in a society. I'm a little bit fascist. They must have rules.
It's like, all right, so there's a treaty, so he can't touch Edward because it'll break some law, of course, which he doesn't say until the very fucking end, which is obnoxious.
Well, that's one of the aspects of the treaty. You don't have to specify the whole treaty. It's the treaty it's spelled out here of like, we don't touch the Cullens. They're cool. They don't touch humans. We don't touch them. That's cool.
Sure, but there is a fine print to this treaty that
yes.
Like, could that not have come up right now? Could you not have walked through this? Like, could you not have like discussed this? No. We got to save that fine print for like the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Bella's kind of forgotten about being a vampire for now.
Yeah, she's an idiot. They're all idiots. I hate them all.
They're all idiots.
And then we get some flashes of the wolves killing Laurent, and then right?
Yeah, well, because so she's like, well, you can't kill vampires, and he's like, no, we kill vampires all the time. He's like, you know that guy yesterday, that guy with the dreads. We murdered the shit out of that guy. It's pretty easy.
In the woods.
And she's like, wait, Laurent? And you're like, that's the vision. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, and we're going to kill his redheaded girlfriend next. We chased her all the way to the Canadian border this morning, but she keeps coming back. I don't know what she wants here.
Because classic, as we know, everyone runs to the Canadian border. And then too, what they can't, they're like border laws. Do they have like a new treaty with Canada? They can't
werewolves have a big thing about, borders. So then Bill's like, no, I know what they're after. It's me. And Jacob's like, what?
He's like, whoa.
Yeah. Hey, squeeze me.
Scooby Snacks.
And then we get back at home, right? Jacob's dropping her off at her place.
This is kind of like
a end scene.
Yeah, it's kind of more like a montagey forced thing going on, right? So we get more her in a bedroom again, more voiceover emails to Alice, kind of catching us all up, basically, right? She's catching us all about like Charlie's after Jacob, her dad, right?
Yeah,
looking for the werewolves, and then Jacob is after Victoria, and like she's literally just summing up where we are all at right now for everyone.
Yeah. Jacob's like, don't worry, the werewolves have got this place covered.
Yeah, and then then we get the rainbow first blood shot with like the cops in the woods hunting for someone, right? Charlie's buddy Harry, right? He's covers up some wolf tracks there. Then we get Victoria. This is the crazy being that was in the trailer. She's like hunting them, right? And this is while some music's playing, and then she grabs Harry, and Wolf comes in and saves the day, I think. Also, this is all happening over. This is a Tom York song, right? Not a Radiohead song.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay, thought so. Good soundtrack again.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Tom York guy, but I appreciate it's definitely the best thing about this movie. Tom
York solo, not so much, but it's fine.
I like the Radiohead that other people don't like.
I like
I'm a big early Radiohead guy.
I'm an early to end. I like all of it from beginning to end.
The last Radiohead album that I really liked was OK Computer.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was a fantastic. I loved Kid A. I was a big fan of that.
Oh, I like Kid A too. You're right.
In Rainbows,
but then after that,
In Rainbows, I liked. I wouldn't say it's like my go-to.
In Rainbows was too much for me. I'm out at that point.
I was fine with it, but I wouldn't say it was my go-to. Like Kid A, OK Computer, probably my go-tos, and then Pablo Honey, right?
Yeah, I like grungy Radiohead.
I like
Radiohead that Radiohead probably hates.
I liked a little bit later Radiohead, I think. Like OK Computer.
That makes sense.
And what was Hail to the Thief? That's probably my like.
You're more of a proggy guy, I feel like.
Yeah, Hail to the Thief and OK Computer are probably my sweet spot for my Radiohead fandom. So
neat. Listeners, I hope you enjoyed that.
Right. So this is all happening in the woods. We got Victoria hunting the cops, and then Bella just shows up in the woods. Now she's in the woods, and I'm not sure why. Then we get
what? Where do we skip to? What's happening?
No, this is she's doing this is like the montage / into the forest over the Tom York song where like she's doing a voice.
Okay. Yeah. So she's doing the email to Alice, right? Okay.
Yes.
Dude, we didn't talk about any of this.
I did.
You had to set the scene for me. You talked about this already?
Yeah, man. I talked about the voiceover. I talked about how she's basically catching us all up about who's after who. And then I did the whole first blood, cops in the woods looking for somebody. I talked about Harry.
Yeah, I got that part. We talked about that part. But
Harry's butter.
Harry's butterballs. Okay.
Charlie's buddy Harry covering up the wolf tracks.
Yeah. Okay.
And Victoria's hunting them, basically, right?
We already did that.
Man.
Did I black out for 5 minutes?
Maybe the Zoom froze. I don't know. It was a little.
I probably blacked out. No, it's okay. So fill me in. Where are we? What's going on right now?
So I've already said it, so I'm just going to go right to the next thing then. So Tom York's song's still playing, and then Bella is now in the woods. Like she's now in the woods running around. I didn't know why.
Yes.
That's why you blacked out, because you're looking at your phone. That's why.
I guess you're right.
I saw you.
Eyes on the prize, baby.
And then the wolves start chasing Victoria, and then Charlie finds his buddy Harry like down on the ground. I think he's dead, but he's not. I guess he just had a heart attack or something. Which
can
cause death.
yeah, and it does, and he is dead.
Oh, he is. Okay, because
he does die here, right? But Jacob get in a fight. It doesn't really matter for anyone except for Harry. Harry's the only one who gets fucked up in this whole movie. And Bella's like out in the woods holding her stomach weirdly.
Yeah. And
then we talking about that already. They're on the cliff. Then she's going to jump off, but Edward says, "Don't do this."
Well, no. Before that, we get Victoria jumps into the water, right? And then the wolves are chasing her to the water, and like as we all know, wolves can't swim. And then this is where Bella heads to a cliff, and then Edward's ghost shows up, and he's like, "Dude, you don't have to do this." And she's like, "Nah, bro.
Excuse me. I'll do what I want.
I'm tombstoning this cliff."
Yeah, I'm tombstoning this cliff right now. She jumps off and then surfaces and then gets mangled by wave after wave somehow.
Absolutely destroyed by two waves. She's all excited because she gets to the top and it's like, she's good.
And then she's underwater and sees across the way there.
Yeah.
Victoria swimming towards her furiously.
Yeah. So this whole sequence is really weird. So she's underwater now. She sees Victoria swimming aggressively towards her. And then she gets hit by like more water and hits her head against the rock and kind of.
Well, right? That's what I was going to ask. Did she hit her head? Like, how did she hit her head against the rocks? I thought she just kind of like backed up stupidly and like,
no, that's because she freaked out. She freaked out because she saw Victoria coming, and she like swam backwards and hit her head and like knocked herself out.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, it wasn't a wave; it was her own stupidity.
Yeah, and then she starts to sink in slow mo, of course, and then we get
the sinkiest.
Yeah, and then like, well, then did Victoria stop swimming towards her? Did she stop coming after her? Like, wasn't she?
No, Victoria, I think kept going. I think it was like Victoria was about to get her, and then Jacob pops on by right when she's like,
that wasn't very
Edward's ghost. I think it was,
that wasn't very clear. That was all really bad. Oh, I see.
I think Victoria is still in the mix. I think Victoria is still after it.
Got you. But then Jacob grabs her. Okay, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, all right.
Oh, it's still stupid. It's stupid either way.
Yeah, that's not done very well. And then he does some weak ass CPR on her on the beach. Which works
somehow, magically works.
And then
she wakes up. She's like, "What the hell were you thinking?" She's like,
"Classic.
I wanted to see something." He's like, "What?" And apparently everybody's like out to go help at Harry's house. So like somebody, Sam, is it Sam that comes over? And Sam's like, "Oh, Jacob, you got her? Good. Okay, cool. We're all going to Harry's house. Like, bad news bears.
We're going over there for drinks. Oh, no, he's dead, right?
Yeah, we got to help out Harry." And they're like, "Wait, what happened to Harry?" And it's like, no. We're over to Harry's house. Smell ya. And
the Hendersons will be over there.
Harry had a heart attack and died, though.
R.I.P. Harry. And then we're in a truck ride again.
And then we're in a truck,
where Jacob is now driving her truck yet again.
Driving the truck.
To nowhere.
Driving a big old truck. Driving a truck with my high heels on.
Hey, this whole thing, and that's okay. And then Jacob's going on about, I don't know, all the werewolf stuff a little bit, and like how they get all fired up and they get angry, and basically, I don't want to get mad and cause domestic violence is basically what he says. What if I get mad and I hit you?
Semi-importantly, Bella's like, "I'm freezing," and he's like, "Well, I'm 108 degrees."
Oh my God.
And she's like, "Must be nice to never be cold." And he's like, "Yeah, it's a wolf thing." She's like, No, it's a Jacob thing. You're all warm." And the line, this is the why I'm highlighting this, Russ, because I know you're furious that we're backtracking a little bit.
No, we're not. We're good. We're right there. We're in the middle of it.
The dialogue of, "You're like your own son." It's not you. It's a Jacob. It's not a you thing. It's a Jacob thing. And then that's when Sam's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Emily, you know how her face got fucked?" He's like, "Yeah, Sam, Sam and Emily."
Yeah. Do you know them? You remember them from a
fucking mangled her face He mangled her face one day. Do you want that? Do you want me to mangle your face one day? He's like, "What if I get mad at you?" She's like, I don't care. And then speaking of good writing, Jacob goes, sometimes I feel like I'm just going to disappear.
Fucking movie.
And I was like,
oh my God.
I know, but I won't let you lose yourself because I won't let that happen to you.
Oh
and he's
my
like,
God.
how? And she's like, I'll tell you all the time how special you are.
I can't wait to get through this.
And then they almost kiss.
I'm almost done. My eyes are closed.
But then they
don't.
Nope. So then they don't kiss. And Bella says, well, thank you for everything. And she gets out. And Jacob's like, well, wait.
Hold on. I smell chicken.
It's a vampire.
Wait, no, hold on. It's stovetop stuffing. Wait, hold on.
Vampire. She goes, how do you know? He goes, I could smell it, of course. That's why I've been sniffing.
All these Cullens smell like rich assholes.
Right. And then she sees Carlisle's car, and then he says, it must be a trick.
It's a trap.
And then she says, it's cool. It's just the Cullens. And Jacob's like, I can't protect you here because of the treaty.
Ugh,
we can't interact with each other anymore.
On this land, whatever.
And I'm pissed. Blah. I'm fucking pissed.
I'm angry. I want to go.
Yeah.
And he slams the door.
Okay, well, bye.
Which, by the way, he slams like her car door or truck door and is like, dude.
Yeah, relax, guy. Yeah, no wonder you thought about strangling her, murdering her, doing Emily stuff to her.
It's like, that's still my truck. That's my vehicle. Can you not slam my shit, please? Like, I'd be pissed. With your stupid werewolf strength. Like, asshole.
Excuse me.
I don't like him. I'm definitely Volturi, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, I'm team Italian for sure.
Shout
out to Italians. So then we're in the house.
And where's Dad? Where's Dad? Where's Dad, the cop, by the way? He's
working? Like out on the hunt. He's hunting. No, he's there. He's hunting for the bears that have been mangling everybody, right? Or the wolves.
Yeah.
That have been mangling everybody.
Yeah.
And also attending to and planning Harry's funeral because Harry died.
Oh,
so he's he's got so many things to worry about right now.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, we can move on. Yeah. So then Bella goes inside and
no, I'm just trying to explain to you, Russ. Charlie's got a lot to do. Harry was an important character.
All you're doing is giving me more shit to cut. So
you can't cut Harry.
We already know Harry's dead. He's done. So then Alice is here and she's like, wow.
Explain to me how you're alive.
Because I thought she was dead because she saw
a vision of you killing yourself.
And it's girl talk on the couch.
You jumped off a cliff. You tried to kill yourself. She's like, no. I was just doing cliff jumping for funs. And some guy pulled me out. She's like, oh, weird. I didn't see that at all. Whatever. I only talk to Edward once a month on the phone because he wants to be alone. What's that wet dog smell?
I feel like
I wrote down all the important parts, Russ. You're missing so much.
I feel like you wrote down all of the parts.
You're skipping so much scene building. Our listeners deserve to know the scene building.
I don't, but not every line though. But I think the good ones. I think Alice had all the best lines here. Like, oh, what is that god awful dog smell?
She did, yeah.
It's good. Okay, we can cut right to that, right? And then it's probably me. It's Jacob, and then Jacob's who, and then Jacob's a werewolf. And it's like, what? You just throwing this information out there to her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a funny scene. The writing is bad.
It's bad. Yeah, I know. You're right. It's bad. It's bad.
And Alice is like, well, don't hang out with werewolves. They're bad company. And Jacob's like, speak for yourself because he's there now.
Obviously. It's like, I'd let myself die before you got hurt. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. Then we know Victoria's around, blah, blah, blah. Everyone smells everyone. Okay, cool.
Yeah, werewolves clouded the powers, apparently, of Alice. That's the thing.
How much more of this movie do we have? Oh, my God.
So much, dude. So much more. Infinite more.
Oh, this might be one of our worst.
You mean one of our best in terms of episode, right?
Maybe. I've had better.
You've had better. Okay. Fair enough. The important part of that, the reason why I didn't skip all that dialogue is that the point is the werewolves cloud Alice's powers, apparently, which is news to us.
Great.
It may be important at some point.
It's like, I love how there's always some new little rule, I want to
keep up to date. Yes. We got to keep up on those, right?
I don't even know what's going on. So what happens now? They're still in the house. They're still talking, saying stupid shit to each other. And then Alice leaves and she's like, something, another good line about as soon as you put the dog out. I forget what the context was.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Then Jacob and Bella talking, and this whole sequence is so fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. And they're basically just talking back and forth about stupid shit and promises being broken, which is basically the same conversation that everyone has in this movie. Like, you made a promise, blah, blah, blah. And you do that. And he goes in for the kiss again. Kiss doesn't happen because you get the old landline telephone ring, which is a classic move, right? Jacob answers it. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. And
Swan residence.
Swan residence. And he's just kind of like, yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. What does he say? Like, yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll see your face.
Yeah, no. Well, he's like, no, Charlie's not around. He's planning a funeral.
That's right.
Then we see Jacob. We see Edward, who's holding the other line, and he's like, and he drops the phone because he assumes it's Bella's funeral.
Is it like in Brazil or something?
He's in Italy. Dude, where have you been? Oh.
I mean, I know where he is, but it looks like he's in Brazil or something. I don't know. It just looks stupid.
Italy looks a lot like Brazil.
from that window in that bathroom, sure.
Yes, you're right. There was no screens. They don't do screens in the Mediterranean.
No. And then Edward just crushes his iPhone like it's nothing. She's dead.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Terrible.
And then Alice just walks back in and she's like, it's Edward. She says he thinks
you're dead.
Dead. He's going to the Volturi. He's like, what is happening? Why are things moving like this? This is terrible. And then
we have to get on a plane to Italy right now.
No, hold on. But this is my favorite. This is they're all pretty funny, but this is great. And Kristen Stewart's like, or Bella's freaking out at Jacob, and she's like, why didn't you let me talk to him? Is that him on the phone? And Jacob's like, he didn't ask for you.
Yeah. Jacob's a piece of shit in this part. She's like, yeah, no, he doesn't want you anymore. Can't you see that? And she's like, I'm not going to let him kill himself out of guilt. And he's like, Jacob's like, you got to stay. Edward doesn't want you anymore. Can't you see that? And she's like, no, I have to go to Italy right now.
Like, what? You're going to Italy right now?
Yep. And then they drive away to get on a plane,
and she says, I'm 18. I can do whatever I want.
I'm a grown up.
So we're off to Italy.
Yep. Plane. We see plane.
The plane, boss, the plane. I was like, wow, okay, we definitely are leaving right now. We're heading for Italy. Just like that. Just leaving.
That's how we know. The
Pacific Northwest, and we're just hopping on a plane and we're international flight to Italy. Just
so far. That's like so many hours.
2009, no problem getting a ticket that easily and getting on a plane and just going.
It's like a 15-hour flight.
To Italy. From the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever. It's a movie, right? All right. So then we're in Italy and we're in the countryside, the Italian countryside, in a sweet yellow Porsche, just cruising past cars and things, right?
And we see Edward briefly. He's at the Volturi chamber or something.
Yep. In front of the council. I guess, right? Their council. And then we come back to the countryside.
Yep.
No, I guess we do get an important point here. That cut to Edward, right? We get them saying they won't kill him because he's got a particular set of skills that they don't want to.
Yeah. You're too valuable to destroy. Yes. Yes.
It's like, okay.
And he's like, well, but if you're unhappy, like, you're welcome to join us. If you want to join the Volturi. Unlimited power.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's pretty good. That's terrifying, actually.
Yeah. And then he's like, nah. And they're like, such a waste.
They're like,
and then he walks out.
They're like, what did you say? He's like, no. No, seriously, we can't hear you. What did you say?
Miss Scusi,
what did you say?
Miss Scusi.
Can you bring the brood down from a 10 to like a 2 and speak up?
Per favore.
And then he walks out. And then we're back in the Porsche. Alice is driving like a mad lady. And now all of a sudden our adrenaline junkie case
didn't think you mind a little Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, right.
Wait, what? What a weird. Did you steal that car?
Yeah, what is going on? And then also Alice is just dressed to the Italian part with the scarf and everything else and the sunglasses. I'm like, what is going on here? What is happening?
Yes. Like she's dressed like an F1 driver.
Yeah. And then she gives us the update about what he's planning to do. And she's basically like, the timer has been set. He's going to kill himself by noon.
Well, he's going to wait till high noon when the sun is at its highest. Then he's going to show himself to the humans.
What a terrible, shitty way for a movie to try to heighten tension by saying, oh, there's a timer now all of a sudden.
So then
every movie
she has a vision of Edward getting head ripped off.
Nice.
Classic.
Headless in Italy.
Like, we gotta get there. We gotta get there soon. Oh, that sounds like a fuck. What's the rom-com woman's name? I was gonna make a funny joke, but it's not anymore.
Kate Hudson.
I was gonna. It sounds like a Kate Hudson movie.
I can fix that.
Fix that post.
So yeah, so it's
a meat cube.
I also love the timing of this. Like their timing is impeccable. They left the Pacific Northwest, took a 15-hour flight, and landed in Italy. Drove through, cruising through the countryside, and are only 5 minutes away from.
Perfect timing.
Love it.
Perfect.
Gotta love that perfect timing.
They get like into town, right? Yeah, that's where you're going with.
It's like a palace of some sort.
The police are like, hey, you can't drive here.
They're
like there's pedestrians.
They're like, hey.
Can't you see there's a pedestrians walking in the street?
Yeah, well, you can't park there.
But they say it in Italian.
In Italian, yeah.
We're not. Yeah. At this point, Alice is like, yeah, well, you see, my hands are tied. You're the only one, Bella, that can do this. He can't read your thoughts. If I sneak up on him, he's going to read my thoughts and accelerate his plan. So you gotta go. You gotta get out of the car.
What? I was like, no, this makes sense. She's like, okay. And then
so
she starts,
like, okay.
Where do I go? Head towards the clock tower, because that makes sense, because that's where it's always happening.
Run through the fountain. Right.
So we get the flash from the beginning of the movie where she's running through the fountain in slow-mo. Dreams are coming true. So we get a sense that she can actually kind of foresee the future a little bit here too, because she had this dream. She had this dream of her running through this fountain.
Oh yeah, she did have a premonition. Yeah, you're right.
So get a little sense which her powers may be.
I think that might come back. Oh yeah, great call, Russ. I've seen all the movies and I don't remember, but good call.
Yeah, there's something. She's from some other.
I tried to black it out. Yeah,
she's from some other line of some other creature or something. I don't know, because vampires can't see what the fuck's going on. Vampires and werewolves love her, and she can see a little bit of the future. She's starting to chime into it, so I don't know. Anyways, clock has struck high noon.
Yep.
The bell is ringing.
Yep.
Edward is shirtless.
Well, stripping
down, shirtless.
Slow-mo. Always slow-mo.
Gotta go slow-mo. Looking pretty pale. And then he's about to step in the sunlight. He steps into the sunlight, starts getting all sparkly, fancy looking. And then Bella just comes in time and hugs him and lets him know she's alive. It's
very sweet. And he's like, wait, what? You're alive?
God.
She's like, yeah, I'm alive. And it's really frustrating.
It's so bad. This is so terrible. And then there's like and then they kind of sneak back inside the clock tower here, save the clock tower. And then you have like a bunch of dialogue and cheesy dialogue that's really terrible back and forth. No, but I love you more. But I would have died before you died before you could die before me. But I would have died before you could die before I would die before. But that means I would have died 15 times before you would have died for me. I was like, oh my God, I want to fucking just throttle both of you guys. I'm not even sure what's happening. And then they kiss and
finally.
Like 15 times.
It's like I feel like we haven't had enough kisses in this movie, right? Like she got real close with Jacob a couple times and
Yep.
Yeah, she needs a nice smooch, and Edward is happy to oblige.
Yeah, and they smooch like 14 times, but I think it's just one kiss. I can't tell.
Counted.
It's kind of like the the old Jean-Claude Van Damme kick, where it's like it's the same kick, but it happens 4 times. You know.
I didn't think of it that way.
And I was like, oh, this is just one kiss, but they're doing it 14 times from different angles and slow motion stuff. So I think it's just one kiss.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sold.
So yeah,
I think it counts as one kiss.
Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks count once because that's all he needs.
So then this is when
2 vamp bros show up and they're like, "Yo, boss wants to see you."
Yeah.
This is where the Godfather Part 3 part kicks in.
Talked to a second ago. Yes. Again. Yeah. He wants to see you and the girl.
She's got to come with, and then we get Jane, who is Dakota Fanning.
Yes.
She finally shows up. She was in the trailer. She's not been in this entire movie until now. So she shows up and leads them to RO in the Chamber of Commerce, and they get into an elevator. I thought there was going to be a really good elevator joke here. There wasn't.
Nope. Oh, I mean, the joke was the elevator music was awful.
Oh, is that what the joke was?
Yeah. And somewhere along the way, thankfully, someone hands Edward a shirt
That's right. Yeah.
So then they get to the Volturi chambers right after they take the awkward elevator.
Yeah.
And Aro makes a big deal about Bella. She's like, "Oh, Bella, you're alive after all. I'm so happy to see you."
So good to see you.
What's happening?
Yeah, I was like, I don't.
What? Like, why? Why? Is this guy trying to, get a nice clip for his resume, or like?
Yeah, I was like, I don't care anymore. Just want this over with. And then he goes in for like a little hand read of Bella, right? He's like, holds her hand, is like, let me see something or whatever, and he's like, I see nothing.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
wait, you're skipping so much.
Go for it.
Well, so because Aro make a huge deal out of like Aro can read every thought that Edward has ever had when he touches him, and he thinks it's weird that Edward can't read Bella's thoughts. He's like, I'd like to do an experiment.
Oh, okay, that's what happens there. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just skipped all that and just went right to him trying to read it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, the whole point. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that he can't. The whole point is that he. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that he can't read her.
Yeah, it's all about the build-up.
Is it though? This movie is about a lot of build-up to nothing. So
yes, that's what I mean. That's the whole point of this movie is about build-up.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
and so I was like, oh, I wonder. Propose an experiment. It's like, can I touch you? She's like, yeah, whatever.
Sure, creepo.
Yeah. So he touches her, can't read her. Then he's like, oh, let's try all of our powers on her. Like make her in pain. Dakota Fanning, and Dakota Fanning's like, with pleasure.
Yeah. This may hurt a little bit.
Right. And it doesn't work.
And then Eddie jumps in front of the pain. He takes the hit. It's brutal, just to show you how painful it is.
Yeah.
And then Aro's like, whoa. Let's try this on the real target here. And not happening.
No, not happening.
Vampires' moves have nothing. So this is kind of interesting, though, because you get a hint of this in the very beginning when, what's his face there? Jasper is trying to do the mood thing to her. And you get a hint that she's like, are you doing that mood thing with me?
Yeah. Are you vampire tricksing me right now?
And she's like, not having it.
Yeah. I don't like Felix. Felix is the guy. Apparently that? Felix is like he's the strong man of the
Vampire
Volturi crew. He's the one who's like, well, all right. Well, if you want to have it your way, Felix, like murder them. Remember?
Murder them.
So then Edward fights back. Felix like chokes. Felix is the one doing the choke slamming. Is the one that grabs Edward by the skull and slams him into the.
I actually didn't mind this fight. I was okay with this fight sequence. I thought it was kind of cool because it was like Edward and this guy. Yeah. It was kind of cool, and like he would like kind of poof and kind of jump through space, and then like they would have like another grap, and like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like I'm okay with this. This is kind of fun.
I agree with that.
And then, but big dude is definitely Felix. Is that his name? He's about to just.
Felix, yeah.
He slams Edward into the steps we saw from the trailer, and he's about to like take him down. And Bella just yells, "Oh wait, kill me instead! Oh me! Oh me!" In the most Kristen Stewart way possible.
There's a lot of like speedy vampire shenanigans in the meantime, like a lot of and then Felix is about to rip Edward's head off, right? And then you're right. Bella volunteers. Aro is so moved. He's like, wait, you would give your life for one of our kind?
Yeah.
Interesting. And then he's like speaking in Italian, and he basically goes, well, I don't know if you speak Italian, Russ, but
a little bit.
In my rudimentary Italian knowledge, he goes, well, it's got to be one or the other, is basically saying you got to go or she's got to go.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's a shame that Edward hasn't given you immortality yet. And that's when Alice volunteers. She's like, no, wait, I'll do it. I'll make her immortal. I'll make her a vampire.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, all right. Cool.
Just in time. Because Aro's about to kill her, and Alice just chirps in at the right time. Yet again, another thing to just kind of.
Always. And she's like, yeah, cool.
And then Aro and Alice have like an eye-to-eye moment, right?
Yes. Well, because he then, can I read you? Because she's like, yeah, you can see right now, like, she's like, I have foreseen it. Bella becomes a vampire. It's all cool in the 4 times. So she's like, read me right now. And so Aro takes her hand and says, oh, so interesting to have seen what you have foreseen. You can do whatever.
And the scene that they show is
very dramatic.
Is Edward and Bella running in the forest like a couple of Amish kids, like I don't know, like from like I don't know, like they're from like the 1700s or something. It's very strange, like the clothing they're wearing. It's not like modern, which makes me think that Alice made it up. Like she somehow like made up a vision or something to show him. I don't know. Maybe if that's possible.
I agree.
And then he's like, let's make preparations. And then we
make preparations?
And then we get the line, I think, that made me just kind of go in relief is the other random creepy dude that's in one of the chamber chairs there. He's just like, yeah, let's be done with this.
Let's be done with this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. You're telling us. Let's be fucking done with this.
Yeah. And then the Volturi are like, okay. See you guys later.
Yeah, we're going to prep things because you're going to be a sacrifice. And then I guess that's okay. I guess they're good. And then there's a tour of humans going through, and then you just hear screams, which I thought was pretty ruthless.
Hilarious. Like they're feasting on tourists, and I like it.
And then we're back in Forks, Washington.
We're always in Forks, Washington for the most part.
Yeah.
Until
Italy,
recently.
and they come back.
Yeah. So brief adventure.
The scene
Bella wakes up in bed, right?
Yep. Scene from the trailer. Edward's sitting there by her bed. More explaining what's going on here. The only reason I left was because I thought I was protecting you. Blah blah. Blah. And then he drops the old. Leaving you was the hardest thing I've done in 100 years. All right, dude, ease up, relax.
And she's like, "Well, it seemed pretty easy for you to leave, if you ask me." And he's like, "Well, lying to you is also very easy." Yeah. You have a very abusive relationship, the two of you. I don't.
Yeah.
This isn't healthy.
No. And he makes more promises, and which seems to be a pretty running theme. A lot of promises being made from everyone to everyone, and then them being broken pretty quickly because that's just how I guess people work. I guess.
That's how promises work, Russ. Don't you understand?
They're meant to be broken, right?
Promises are meant to be broken.
And then Dad just walks in. Eddie disappears. And Dad's like...
Yeah, magically. I love it.
Gonzo.
Yeah. By the way, you're grounded for fucking ever.
For fucking ever.
And she's like, yeah, I get it.
Did you catch the little thing? So when then Dad leaves, he closes the door and like the camera just slightly pans a little to the left as the door closes. Did you catch the little picture of the wolf on the hang up on the door?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, on the wall, right next to the door. There's a picture of a wolf looking at her.
Nice, great call out.
Stupid. Edward's still in the room. No, he did the old just hiding behind the door trick.
Yep.
Because,
which works every time, as we all know.
Yeah, he could have just ducked and rolled underneath the bed, but, going over around the other side.
Yeah, you really want to commit to the bit.
He's creeping, and he also does say something about how I'm not breaking any of your dad's rules. I'm like, man, this guy's all about rules, isn't he?
Yes. He's like, no, he said I couldn't come through the door, so I came through the window.
Not breaking any rules.
Oh, yeah, that's very sexy.
Gotcha.
I love rule followers.
Yeah.
And then she's talking about how once Alice changes me, you won't be able to get rid of me. We're gonna have a great life forever together. And Edward's like, excuse me? I don't think so. Yeah.
Whoa. This is getting a little.
Like, nope. We can totally lie to the Volturi forever. Yeah. Fuck that.
Sound like a commitment. So then we're back at Eddie's house.
Because this is when we're like, hey, you know what? Let's get the Cohen family to vote.
Yeah.
But let's say who can vote on Bella's fate? Bella.
This is
who
democracy.
Wants to vote on my fate?
Yeah.
She's like, I vote for meeting a vampire.
Yep.
And then
okay, let's go around the room.
Most of the siblings, they're all like, yeah, okay, I'm all in. Everyone is in except for one. Except like Jasper's fiance.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't choose this life. I hate this. I don't want to be a vampire anymore.
Fucking trapped into some damned. Here I am.
Kill me.
Kill me now, please. Kill me. Kill me.
It's fucked. It's really fucked up.
Long story short, though, Team Vampire wins. So
yeah, I love Carlisle being like, well, I'm not going to live without my son. You're like, wait, he's not even your son, really.
Yeah, what is happening?
He's just a guy that you've been hanging around for like 100 years for some reason.
And then back in the car, because this is what we do. We do a lot of driving up there in Washington.
Bella's like, I want to wait till graduation, then maybe I'll turn into a vampire. And I really would want you to do it, Edward. And he's like, what?
Don't know about that.
And then Jacob's standing in the road.
Shirtless, of course, obviously.
Always, yeah. And he wants to talk, apparently.
So they go into the woods. They literally walk, I don't know, 30, 40 feet into the woods. You can still see the car on the road. So I don't know why.
As is tradition. Yeah.
Oh, they always talk in the woods. Okay, yeah.
We always talk in the woods, Russ, don't you? Have you been here for half a movie so far?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's either the woods or the car. So they're in the woods now, and they're all chatting. A little three-way chat here. And Edward, bigger man, thanks Jacob for protecting Bella while he couldn't.
Not the kind of three-way that Bella wants.
No.
And Uh, and Edward's like, yeah. I'm not, don't worry. Like, I'll never leave her alone again. I'm going to keep her safe forever. And Jacob's like, well, wait a second.
About that.
Give me a second to talk here.
Yeah. Man with his shirt off. Yeah.
Let me remind you about the treaty. As soon as you turn Bella into a fucking vampire, we're all over you. The truce is off, baby.
Read the fine print, motherfucker.
I won't let you turn her. And Bella's like, Jacob, I love you, but don't make me choose because I choose Edward. That's so fucked. She's like, it's always been Edward. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And Jacob's little wolf heart is broken. Why is she
justifiably? Yeah.
Why is she
not
doing
psyched.
this? I forgot even why is this all happening? Who cares? Why is any of this happening?
This is happening because Jacob wants to fight Edward, and Edward's like, don't worry. He's like, you don't have to protect her anymore. I'm protecting her. And he's like, no, well, I got to protect her also.
But why does she need? Why does she need?
Don't make me choose.
Why does she need to become a vampire vegan?
Oh, she wants to be a vampire so that she can live forever with Jacob.
Oh, that's right.
Or with Edward. That's the whole point.
Edward, because he lives forever. She'll get old, whatever. Because being old is not good. Okay,
the whole premise, right? Exactly. Oh, yeah. No one wants to hit 40, Russ.
That's maybe why I hate this fucking movie.
Yeah, the whole premise is like, oh, we can't be 40.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake.
All right, so then they have a short little. Almost a bro battle, right? Over the lady in the woods.
A brattle. Yep. A brattle.
Jacob turns, he goes wolfy, right?
Well, because Edward pushes him.
Oh,
Edward,
he gives him
shoves him.
Yeah. Well, because he comes in to I get it. I see it's all going down.
It's a tit for tat. You know.
I get it. So Jacob goes teen wolf on him, and they're about to get into it. And then Bella's like, no, can't hurt each other without hurting me. And Jacob, we get the close-up of his eye, and he just runs away into the woods.
And then Edward's like, Jacob, you were right. She shouldn't be a vampire. I also hate that.
So what's the 5 years, 3 years thing? What was that in reference to? Like when he's going to
the sequels of the movie. Right.
Yeah. Oh, is that okay?
So he's like, give me 5 years. Like let's do this. Like, let's just,
let's film the next one.
Take it slow.
Take a breather. Film the next one.
I want you to consider your decision to be a vampire. That's a big decision, right? You're giving up your soul in Edward's mind. It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Do I want to be a vampire? Give it 5 years. And she goes, no, that's too long.
Yeah, deal. 3.
Like, all right, 3. Because the 3 more movies, thankfully.
Right. So it's 3 more years. Okay.
Yeah. And she says, well, what are you waiting for? And then he goes, well, I have one condition. If I do this.
More conditions and laws and rules with this guy.
Yeah. And then always forever, I have you. Marry me, Bella. The end. Cut to black.
Wow. I was like, really?
The end.
That's it.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I think
that's okay to do. That's okay to do for a book. Not even then. Not even for a book. That's kind of obnoxious. Like you still have to have a complete story. That's not a complete story.
Nope. No. It's split across 5 movies.
Like literally nothing happened in this movie.
You got it.
Fuck me.
You're in for a treat. In that we get to skip the next one.
Good.
We'll skip Eclipse, right?
Yeah.
So in just so you like have a little bit of knowledge ahead of where we're going. In Eclipse, basically Bella like becomes aware of the possible complications of marrying a vampire. She's like, it seems like it could be more complicated than I thought.
Oh my god.
And
yeah, you got to eat meat.
Right, you have to drink blood for whatever. So then Jacob, tries to convince her that that's a bad idea. And then Edward apparently proposes to her again, like officially.
Okay. Yeah. The ring and all, probably, hopefully. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the end. I think he proposes to her again in the third one. I think the second movie and the third movie had the same ending, basically.
Oh my God.
Because the fourth one is when they get married.
Oh my God. Spoilers. Spoilers. That's the next one we're doing.
My bad, buddy.
That's the next one we're doing.
Yeah. That's the one where they get married, pal.
I think we need to revisit. So we are going to do part 4, which is Breaking Dawn part 1. That's the one that's when it landed under 30%. So that's the next one we're going to do. We should do that one early in 2022. Let's knock these out.
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
We'll come back. We'll give it a little bit of a breather, like a 3 to 5 year breather.
let us know, listeners. Are you Twilight fans? Do you want us to do more Twilight movies? Should we do even the ones, because they're all bad? I've seen them all. I can say I could pick on them for a whole movie. Should we do the rest of them, even though they're like 40-something%?
I don't think that's
let us know.
Idea. No, don't let us know anything. No,
they're so bad, dude. They're really, we could have fun with them.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to watch them. But I think if we watch them all out of order, we can have like the ITMT way, be like, yeah, you should watch 2.
It's like
4 1 3 5. Yes, that's the ITMT order. Yeah, the listeners will love it.
That's the Jacob Stark passenger viewing.
Yeah, that's what we charge Patreon for. We're like, oh yeah, if you want the ITMT cut.
Yeah, the ITMT viewing. If someone emails us and is like, yes, then yes, we'll do it.
Right?
So
we'll do anything for our fans.
It's on you. It's on you, listeners.
Literally anything for you. Anything.
Okay.
Vampire stuff.
So I think that's it. I think we did it, right? We made it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like we made it, but we did it. I think we did.
No, I agree. It doesn't feel like I think we went hard at the end trying to get through this because it's awful and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's really rough.
But I'm happy how we ended things, I think.
Yeah. Unlike the movie, at least our podcast episode's going to end.
Yeah. It feels like there should be a part 3 where we do the next movie, even though I know there's not. Like, I hate leaving everyone on that note. I'm glad that I gave some Twilight spoilers away for our listeners who won't watch the rest of the movies, because it feels awful to say, marry me is the last line. It's stupid. I hate this.
That's pretty bad.
I hate this movie.
I mean, I guess we kind of do to our listeners at the end of part 1 what this movie did to everyone. Different. But yeah,
we're not Twilight popular.
No, right.
Yet. You can be a part of that. You can be a part of that. Russ, why don't you tell them how they can help be a part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks everyone for listening. I think we're done here. So thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
I was transitioning too.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. I'm glad you did, because I started zoning out. We'll be back next week with a new movie in a trailer trash. Can I say what movie we're going to do next?
Yeah, go for it. We're doing it.
We never do this, but we have the rest of our year planned out. So the next movie...
Super rare preview.
Yeah, super rare preview. Or you just pay attention on social media. You'll see what's coming. But we're going to tackle the Chaos Walking, Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland movie. Sci-fi.
Starfest. Yeah.
Something going on there. So
I love all those people.
I do too. And we're going to shit on their movie. So
Daisy Ridley's okay.
Stay tuned for that. Yeah. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at it's this meets that. So our ITMT pod on Twitter, and you can and should subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts.
And while you're subscribing, you can also be reviewing. As they say, ABR in the biz, always be reviewing. And that's you, the listener. Write us a review. You can say like 2 words. Give us 5 stars. I don't care. On Apple Podcasts, preferably. The algorithms love that shit. And we love you for loving the algorithms. So do that. Or if you don't feel like doing all of that, just send us an email. It's thismeetsThat@gmail.com. Or if you're even lazier, you can go just listen to the rest of the catalog. We got a ton of episodes. We're coming up 100 faster than you can say. It's This Meets That at our website. It's thismeetsthat.com.
It is a mouthful.
Yeah. A lot of words, a lot of clauses,
a lot of things going on there.
Lots of phrases. We're doing like I'm just a bill.
We should have done an iambic pentameter ending here. So we should have done.
Damn it! Yes. Yeah. Instead, I went Schoolhouse Rock. You're right.
Damn it.
Thank you.
Thank you.